to Phil. All right, so rocky ride for the stock market today as well. More bad news for the housing industry as new data from the NAHB shows homebuilder confidence falling to a 3-month low. So how do you profit from that? Some specific stocks. Todd Schoenberger is the managing director at Land Colt Trading. Todd, great to see you. All right, we'll get those picks in just a sec. First, your take on the sell-off today.
Look, not a surprise right now. I mean, first of all, this market is driven by what happens in Europe. So any bad news, any news about this Greek default, anything that's pessimistic is going to carry over into the U.S. We had stock 600 index up 2.5% last week. That clearly propelled the U.S. markets higher. But right now, this sell-off is probably long overdue, and it's probably just the start of bad things to come.
Bad things to come in the form of additional selling or more bad news. You didn't even comment on the jobs plan announced by the president here this morning.
Well, I only have 3 minutes for this hit right now, Lori, so I can't get to all that bad stuff. But realistically, though, I think we're really expecting a lot out of the Fed this week. We're thinking this meeting that starts tomorrow, it ends on Wednesday, that he's going to save the day. And unfortunately, I think he's going to disappoint all of us. So I'm not exactly very optimistic about this market right now.
I'll type you say something outrageous. I'll extend your hit time.
Well, I got to tell you, this jobs thing, I mean, it's awful. I can tell you that right now. IRS said in 2009 you had over 230,000 taxpayers that earned over $1 million. And look, if you guys want to use an example, look at the state of Maryland. They put a millionaire's tax out there and everybody moved. So if you don't think people will leave this country, they will leave this country if they're overtaxed.
I read you're calling for 12% unemployment, up from where we are here now, not too long from now.
That's right. Well, listen, you only have to look at history. When you start thinking of recessionary periods, you will see a 2 to 3 percentage point increase on the current unemployment rate. So that tells me that if we're headed into a recession, which I do believe we are, then you have to suspect that unemployment's only going higher. And I suspect we'll hit 12% unemployment by election day of next year.
Okay, so you have some very strategic stock picks that fit into this category of a slowing economy and more challenges ahead. Let's start with your first one, Public Storage, ticker PSA. You say sell the family dining room set on Craigslist. You're not even going to do that. Keep it until better times, brighter, greener pastures. Public Storage down today in the broader market, though, of weakness.
Listen, the housing index, look, the housing sector as a whole is poison right now. You'd be a fool to buy a house right now. You might as well just burn the money because it doesn't make any sense. Then you add into the fact that people that are downsizing or being evicted are not selling their stuff. I don't get that. Why not just go out and raise the cash? But instead they have to store it somewhere. Public storage is #1 in the business for climate-controlled units. Plus, the dividend yield is solid. It's over 3% right now. It's a pure cash flow business, very low overhead, and they have zero debt, Lori. I love that in companies. That's why you want to look at that company.
Don't forget to check those balance sheets. Family Dollar on the same strategy.
Exactly. Look, this is a company opening 650 stores this year, adding 3,000 new employees. This is a company that even pays a dividend, but this is a growth story. They increased market share by 5% last year, whereas Walmart and Target lost 5%. It's a frugal world we're living in, Lori, as you know. So everybody's going to Family Dollar. I love that growth story.
All right. We appreciate your time and your insights, your stock picks. A lot of fun today. Todd Schoenberger.